Hello, I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and you are watching Tom Talks Rubbish. It's the place for interviews, wrestling reviews, and so much more.
Make sure you subscribe to Tom Talks Rubbish. I highly recommend you subscribe here first.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Talks Rubbish, and today I'm back with another AEW Dynamite review. This time, reviewing the episode that took place last night, called Fight for the Fallen. So let's get into it. Overall, guys, I thought this was a very good Dynamite, bookended by an amazing 10-man tag match between the Elite and the Dark Order, and an amazing main event between Nick Gage and Chris Jericho. A bit iffy in the middle, but overall, still a really good show. So let's get into the minutiae. First of all, we kicked off with that 10-man tag match that I was just talking about, between the Elite, which is obviously the Bucks, Omega, and Gallows and Anderson, against the Dark Order, which were obviously Hangman Page, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. I think, if I got that right, I'll be very pleased with myself. But stupidly, I forgot to write it down. So, the first thing we saw on the show was a hype package for Hangman Page, which essentially describes him as a cowboy, because that's obviously part of his character, and the fact that cowboys don't need boots, they have loyalty and stuff like that, and they don't give up, and he won't give up in the face of this adversity. And yeah, I thought it was very well done. Then we had probably the most, in the best way possible, the most ridiculous moment of the night when the Elite came out dressed as Space Jam and throwing basketballs around, and then I assume they were the bad guys in Space Jam. I'll be honest, guys, I've never seen Space Jam, so I'm just going off that, really. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought that was a really good way to do it. We started off with Doc Gallows and Hangman Page in the ring. Obviously, Hangman is like, I want Kenny. And you have Don Callis on commentary, with everyone else on commentary being like, nah, that's not going to happen. We're going to make him wait. So yeah, that was cool. We saw, as Doc Gallows and Kenny were, and Hangman were fighting, we saw Kenny attack Hangman from behind, which led to everyone getting the ring spot, and we would then see the Dark Order all suplex members of the Elite in a double team suplex motion. So that was cool. We then saw finally Nick Jackson suplex Alex Reynolds into everyone from the top rope down to the floor. That looks really cool. Anderson was the first eliminated for the Elite after the Dark Order hit a double team move, and yeah, that was fun. More double team Dark Order stuff. Big boot by Gallows. John Silver hit some punches. Outside the ring, Stu Grayson and Doc Gallows are fighting over the barricade, and they get counted out by 10. So that's the next elimination. Evil Uno then steps up to Kenny Omega, goes to hit his senton move after getting Kenny on the ground, and we would see brain work. We would then see Kenny hit the V trigger, and then the One Winged Angel to eliminate Evil Uno. This left Doc Gallows. This left Hangman, John Silver, the Young Bucks, and Kenny. We would then see a spear by John Silver. The Elite do this really ridiculous spot where basically there's a basketball hoop set up outside the ring, and as they go to hit the Indie Taker on John Silver outside the ring, they also hit a basketball. They also get a basket. So yeah, that was ridiculous, but overall enjoyed that. The Young Bucks also hit Hangman Page with a powerbomb on the apron. That was disgusting. Then after that, they got John Silver back in the ring, hit the BTE trigger to eliminate him, and then we saw Kenny Omega get in the ring, spit in Hangman's face, super kicks by Kenny and the Bucks, V-trigger, V-trigger, which is then countered into a buckshot on Kenny. He rolls out the ring, double buckshot on the Bucks. Matt Jackson was eliminated. Kenny grabs the tag team title belt, which I thought was very good symbolism, and then we would see Kenny get that belt taken away from him by the ref, but as the ref is distracted by, I think it was the other Buck, Nick or Matt, I'm not sure which one, he hits him with the world title belt, V-trigger, one winged angel, Hangman loses, and therefore loses his title opportunity at All Out. He also did Dark Order, then lost their tag team championship opportunity. However, my issue with this is, I know we have a few months till All Out, but are they going to drag it out too much? That's all I'm worried about. Are they going to drag it out and then only have a week of build for Hangman versus Kenny when that's eventually confirmed? I hope not, and if I'm wrong, I will happily admit I'm wrong, but that's just something that I'd like to just be known. We then had a Pac interview where basically the Lucha Brothers haven't shown up yet, and Andrade then comes in and is like, I got them a limo, because they're obviously competing over the Lucha Bros at the moment, and they will be here in style. Side note, we don't see them for the rest of the night, but that was kind of fun. We then had what I thought was probably my weakest point in the night, because I don't know if there was technical difficulties or things went wrong. This was just a bit of a train wreck of a segment where Ricky Stark's celebration for winning the FTW title, we would then see he airs his grievances with Paige, but basically he could handle him costing him matches, blah 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 blah, and then we would see he basically said, but you didn't check on me when I had my neck injury, so that's why I was mad. And then Paige comes out basically attacking members of the band. I don't know if I mentioned there was a band at ringside, and Paige, whilst Ricky Starks is cutting this promo, the problem was, I don't know whether there was technical difficulties for the crowd, because they were chanting, we can't hear you, so I don't, and that sort of took me out of the segment. If that's wrong, I apologise, but yeah, I just didn't enjoy that. And then the segment ends with Ricky Starks being your classic chicken poo heel and running away. We then saw FTR versus Santana and Ortiz. For me, obviously, Cash Wheeler got injured during this match, and that did take away some of the match for me. So I feel like this match was good, but had the injury not happened, it could have been a lot better. So we saw a shoulder tackle by Wheeler to start off the match. Santana tagged in, Cash Wheeler thrown into Proud and Powerful double teams. We then saw Ortiz tagged in, but then he's isolated by FTR. And the counter exchange, we then saw them hit the street sweeper, kick out, and that is where FTR are about to go hit their splash suplex combo. Cash is pushed off the rope and somehow injures his arm on the way down, So the match ends quite quickly with Dax hitting a brainbuster to get the win. Like, I appreciate injuries happen, but that moment, like, I feel like if the injury hadn't happened, we would have had a much better finish. But I understand why they had to do that finish so quickly. Britt Baker then has a promo backstage where she essentially says, I'm the baddest bitch on the planet. I need someone to watch my back, and that person will be showing up soon. Darby Allin then teased. Basically, we got an announcement that the second episode of Rampage on the 20th of August is going to be taking place in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, this started the fans chanting CM Punk, and then we saw a Darby Allin promo where essentially he said, this place is for the people, is for all types of people, even people that used to call themselves the best in the world. So at the minute they're teasing Darby as CM Punk's first feud. I predicted that if you saw my list, so yeah, I think that would be fun overall. We then saw Lance Archer versus Hikaru. I apologise, like how I pronounce his name. And he came out with his father, King Haku, who, as I understand, is a big legend in Japan. So, and this match was Lance Archer versus Hikaru for the IWGP United States title. So yeah, this match was just two horses fighting, and I loved it. We saw shoulder tackles, we saw power slams, we even saw superplexes, and finally Lance Archer we saw Haku shove Lance Archer into the barricade, which I thought was cool. And then to end the match, after a superplex, we saw Lance Archer hit the blackout from the top rope to get the win. Yeah, that was cool. We then would see AEW's equivalent of the gorilla position. I think they call it the Dusty position. Cody is obviously on the headset, and we get, all of a sudden, he's being interviewed by Alex Marvez, and a kick comes from across the room, and we see Malachi Black kick him in the head, and then they brawl out to the fans. Another knee, Cody's laid out. I hope this means Cody's not gonna win, but if I was doing predictions for this show, the next show, which is Homecoming, which is when Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes is taking place, I would put my money on Cody Rhodes. I hope I'm wrong, but we shall see. We then saw Miro basically bigging up himself for his challenge next week against Lee Johnson. He had a funny line where he said, I love two things in life. God, three things in life. God, this championship, and a double jointed wife. That was quite funny. Like, this would be a good match next week. No complaints. This is where, in my opinion, two things on the show that maybe, because other things had run long, didn't get enough time, so could have been put on a different show. We had, first of all, we had a 6-man tag match between the Hardy Family Office, which is Private Party and Angelico versus Jurassic Express and Christian, which in this match was Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Yeah, once again, it felt like they were all on hyperspeed because they had to get their stuff in their allotted time because we'd run long. So the only things I had written down was Luchasaurus hit a German suplex on all his opponents at the same time, all three of them. And then Christian would hit a splash to get the win for his team after running Matt Hardy out of the thing because he kept interfering. At the end of the match, we then saw another Hardy Office member come out, the Blade, and attack Christian. So that's how that feud's going to progress. We then saw Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart, and all I have for this match is dropkick by Thunder Rosa, her finisher, which is like a tombstone pile driver, I'm not too sure what it's called. I think it's called the Death Driver or something. And yeah, enjoyed it overall, but in my opinion, these are two things that, out of respect for the performance and to give them more time, you could have maybe not put this on such a jam-packed show. And this is maybe what brings my enjoyment of Dynamite back a bit. Sometimes when they pack too much in. So our main event was Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho. Obviously, as you guys know, the 5 labels of Jericho are currently taking place, where Jericho has to win 5 matches to get a match with MJF. And overall I enjoyed it. Basically, we saw Nick Gage, who's famous for using a pizza cutter in matches, start off with this match using a pizza cutter, slashed up Jericho's arm. He would then they would then start brawling on the outside of the ring. Nick Gage would bring out some light tubes, hit Jericho with them. We then would see a suplex into a Falcon Arrow spot. Later in the match, we saw Nick Gage be suplexed into a pane of glass, which, even if that's fake glass, that looked cool and looked really painful. Like, fun spot. We then saw Jericho dodge the pizza cutter, hit a Judas effect to get the win. And after the match, Jericho we then find out that next week, MJF, who's been on commentary with Popcorn all match, announces that next week Jericho's fighting Juventud Guerrero, and he must win the match with a top rope move to get the win. Overall, guys, like I say, I enjoyed this Dynamite, but like the bits that made it amazing for me were the 10-man tag match and the Nick Gage match. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.